afternoon, it's Monday, August 19, 2024. Peace is a part to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, accident at Rumosi leaves one person hospitalized, 3 others injured. Police finally name suspect in dynamite explosion in Port Harcourt. Supreme Court holds final hearing on Kogi Bayelsa governorship elections. On the foreign scene, 1 dead, others missing after yacht sinks off Italian coast. I'm Ifechuku Moyle with the news. 3 persons were involved in a motor accident earlier this morning at the Rumosi axis of the East-West Road in Port Harcourt. Speaking to our correspondent, a butcher at the Rumosi slaughter who witnessed the incident told our correspondent that the driver was speeding in the wrong direction when he hit a man who was making a purchase at a nearby shop. Another eyewitness, Godwin Emmanuel, said a keke driver and 2 others survived, while the man who was directly hit by the car was rushed to the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH.
One taxi man wey dey drive taxi wey park in taxi for that place say make come buy cigar for here. Say one cross, one formatic from nowhere jam the man, fall the gate, jam 2 keke, bend the 2 keke. I follow catch the man sef as the man body dey here. The man 2 leg don paralyze, blood dey come out for him mouth. I'm not sure say that man fit survive sef because the man already has been put am for motor. The man I'm not sure say they breathe again.
The driver get injured. There for pharmacy wey dey for cornerstone dey treat himself. And that one wey carry for there, we never know whether he go survive.
Moving on, police have named 40-year-old Priya Josiah alias Metusa as the suspect behind the June 25 dynamite explosion near Hotel Presidential in Port Harcourt. A statement by the spokesperson of the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Iring Koko, said the arrested suspect, who is from Bayelsa State, has undergone 3 major surgeries and has recovered from the injuries he sustained from the dynamite explosion. The police said Priye will be charged to court after investigations are completed. The statement said efforts are still ongoing to arrest others involved in the crime. It also said the suspect has been on the police wanted list for participating in some high-profile bank robberies. On the second dynamite explosion at the Secretariat of the Action People's Party, APP, along the GRA axis of Port Harcourt last Monday, the police said no life was lost, but damage was done to the front of the building. The statement said samples from the site of the explosion have been taken for further forensic investigation. The police, however, urged members of the public to be vigilant when cases of explosion occur and to steer clear of the vicinity, as there is a tendency of another device being present. Away from that, the Supreme Court has started hearing on electoral disputes that arose in the conduct of the governorship elections in Bayelsa and Kogi State in 2023. At the center of the dispute are Governor Dwe Ediri of Bayelsa State and Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State, who were declared winners of the poll by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) last year. A former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva of the APC, and Maritala Ajaka of the Social Democratic Party (SDP) are challenging the declarations made by INEC on the outcome of the elections. However, the separate governorship election petition tribunals and the Court of Appeal, both of which sat in Abuja in their respective findings, affirmed the declaration of the electoral body on various grounds. And now the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje has denied any presidential ambitions for the 2027 election. This comes despite a viral poster suggesting otherwise. The poster features Mr. Ganduje as the APC presidential candidate and Governor Hope Uzodinma as his running mate. Mr. Ganduje, through his spokesman, Edwin Olofu, dismissed the poster as a fake and malicious creation by the Kwankwasian movement of former Kano Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso, intended to create a rift between him and President Bola Tinubu. In another development, Niger Delta rights activist and member of the Patriot, a group advocating for a new Nigerian constitution, Ankil Briggs, says that the clamor for a new Nigerian constitution is to give every Nigerian a sense of belonging. Ms. Briggs, who spoke on Nigerian 4FM Morning Crossfire in Lagos, claimed that the current constitution operational in Nigeria is not a people's constitution. She also said that reviewing the same constitution is no longer acceptable.
Constantly putting together groups of Nigerians to review the constitution, to amend the constitution for the past how many years, since 1999, is just no longer acceptable. We need a new constitution so that every Nigerian of every ethnic nation, of any color and religion can come together and say what they want, how they want it.
Ms. Briggs said Nigeria needs a constitution that does not take away the rights of the state that are supposed to be accountable to us.
We have a constitution that has given a federal government that is actually supposed not to have the sort of powers that they are having. Everything is centralized in Abuja. And so there is nothing, the responsibility that should go to the state have already been taken away by the federal government, but through the constitution.
In other news, the Admiralty Lawyers Society of Nigeria has urged the federal government to urgently revamp the maritime industry through significant and substantial investment. President of the Admiralty Lawyers Society of Nigeria, Angus Chukwuka, who said this in response to protests, emphasized the necessity for the government to prioritize and redirect its
People have constitutional and legal rights to protest, especially given that they are hungry. However, that hunger protest would have been better served if it was for Nigeria to redirect its investment from oil and gas to maritime. Because whereas oil and gas is causing us communal clashes, causing us international company exploitations, maritime is more calm, more renewable. There's no climate change involved in it.
Still to come, JAMB threatens sanctions against universities that fail to submit admission list. Stay with us.
Music Festival. Over 10,000 youths and music lovers on the 15th.
The rest of the news. The Joint Admission Matriculation Board JAMB has threatened to sanction higher institutions that fail to submit list of students admitted immediately after matriculation. JAMB's public communications advisor Fabian Benjamin in a memo said the initiative is one of the recommendations made by a committee set up by the federal government to combat fake degrees racketeering in the country. It said institutions are to regularly submit their matriculation list to the federal Ministry of Education not later than 3 months after matriculation ceremonies. In the meantime, some public school students in River State who participated in the 2024 West African Senior School Certificate Examination in River State say they have not been able to access their academic results on the WAEC website. Some of them told our correspondent that they repeatedly logged into the website only to receive an indebted message from the examination body. When our correspondent contacted the State Ministry of Education, a senior staff member said the issue has been resolved. However, our correspondent gathered that the indebted message on the WAEC result has now been replaced with held. When contacted, the River State Commissioner for Education, Ovi Chukwuma, said the state government is not owing the examination body. WAEC is yet to speak on this. Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate tournament of champions has entered the next stage this week with 6 debaters going head-to-head today. Today at 3 p.m., Omar Benedi Excel will meet Etomi Bernard Samuel on the topic, should drug trafficking and abuse be addressed primarily through stricter law enforcement measures or through public health approaches. At 4 p.m., Mary Uke Ashia and Adio Afolari will debate the topic, should Nigeria prioritize economic growth over climate change initiatives. At 5 p.m., Adepetu Adenike and Akilo Charles will face off on the topic, should content creators be held to the same ethical standards as traditional media. Judges will save one loser today. Join us from 3 to 10. Its oil marketers have attributed the scarcity of petrol to lingering logistics challenges. President of the Petroleum Product Retail Outlets Owners Association Petro One, Billy Gillis Harry, who spoke on Channels Television today, said oil marketers are currently supply constrained and can only distribute what they have. When asked to give further explanation of what the logistics challenges were, Mr. Gillis Harry said the logistics issue is ship transfer, and until the ship gets product, it cannot deliver. And as product, retailers cannot also have access to product. In entertainment, the widow of the late Nigerian singer Mohbad Wumi has appealed to fans and supporters to refrain from speaking ill of her husband. She stressed that disrespecting the late Mohbad in his death shows disdain for his entire family. In sports, Mike Tyson says he is prepared for his bout with Jake Paul on 15 November after the fight's original date had to be postponed. On the international scene, the Italian Fire and Rescue Service says one man has died and 6 other people are missing after a sailing yacht sank off the coast of Sicily early this morning. The yacht was flying a British flag, and Britons are among those missing. The 22 people on board included 10 crew and 12 passengers, also including American and Canadian nationals. Emergency services rescued 15 people, including a 1-year-old child, after the vessel encountered poor weather off the coast of Palermo.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. An accident at Rumosi has left one person hospitalized and 3 others injured. Police have finally named the suspect involved in a dynamite explosion in Port Harcourt. Supreme Court has started final hearing on the Kogi and Bayelsa State governorship elections. On the foreign scene, 1 man has died and 6 other people are missing after a sailing yacht sank off the coast of Sicily. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.